another video. My name is Rachel, and all of my videos are just about living your best life, like feeling better about who you are, what your purpose is, and just going throughout every day, doing the very best you can, knowing that when you live your life like that, eventually you get to this like place where you look back at all the growth that you've had and you just can't believe how far you've come, because it's a journey and it goes every single day, and you make choices every single day that turn into who you are. So that's what I'm about. Today I want to talk about 6 things to do when you're feeling stuck, because I think that's something that we have all dealt with. Sometimes you just get in this place where you just don't know what to do. So one of the fastest, easiest things I do to get things moving in my life when I'm feeling stuck is to move energy. I'm big into energy work. There's a feng shui principle that says, if you want to change the energy of your environment, move 27 things specifically. And you can do this in many ways. You can literally just pick something up and put it back down to move the energy a little bit. I would recommend moving things a little bit more, whether you're just like reorganizing an area of your house. Let's say you have a little like side table. Take everything off of it, dust it off, put a few things back there, but then put a few things somewhere else. That kind of energy movement, I feel like, makes a big difference. And if you go through your house and do that with 27 things, it is supposed to change the energy of your environment. The energy of your environment is so much more important than we realize sometimes, because it is constantly feeding our subconscious. Everything you look at is giving your brain a message. And also, adding on to that, I'm a big believer that cleaning is so important. For me personally, I just feel better in a clean environment. But even if you're not someone who thinks that they notice a mess around them, if you look at something on the floor, let's say you see a dead bug behind your couch and you leave it there, and you think that it's not going to affect you, that kind of thing doesn't bother you. Even if it doesn't, I think it does subconsciously, but even if it doesn't, you are giving the universe a message that you don't care about the environment that you live in. You're putting out there that you're okay with living in a place that has dead bugs on the floor. You're agreeing to that just by not taking 10 seconds and picking it up and getting rid of it. So important to love and respect yourself enough to not agree to live in that type of environment. So that's the first thing. Cleaning / moving 27 things. That's my first go-to whenever I'm feeling a little bit stuck. The second thing you can do, which kind of coincides with the first one, is to get rid of things. And this is, again, having to do with the energy of your environment and the energy that you're putting out into the world. Whenever you're holding on to things that you don't really need or want, you don't have any room in your life for anything new to come in. Let's say you go through your closet and you pick 5 things out that you don't like anymore. When you pick them up, you're like, why do I even have this? But it's just easier to leave it there, right? I encourage you to take those 5 things out of your closet and to donate them. Like, even just saying that to you, I'm getting this like breath of fresh air, because you're letting something go that you don't really need, and now you have space in your life for something new to come in. Whether that be a new idea, or a new piece of clothing that makes you so happy when you put it on, or a new job opportunity, or a new love interest. Sometimes you're so in your own space with the things that you already have, you need to be able to let things go. Literally, you gotta let it go in order for you to receive new things. And letting go of things and letting new things coming in is a great way to start feeling unstuck, because any kind of change like that, especially positive change, is going to just give you this boost of not only like giving yourself room in your life for new energy, but also having that feeling of taking control and taking power of your life, which puts you in the driver's seat, which also makes you feel like you're not stuck. You can do anything you want to do. It's important to get into that kind of mindset. The third thing that you can do when you're feeling stuck is to dance or move your body in some way. I really think that dancing is such a good thing to do because it's letting your inner child out to play. It's letting yourself know that it's okay to be yourself. It's giving yourself all of these positive energies whenever you allow yourself to do something like that. Moving your body gets the blood flowing, it creates endorphins, which gives you boosts of positivity, but also it helps you move trauma through your body. So a lot of the times you're holding on to things that have happened to you in the past and you may or may not realize it. There are many ways to get rid of trauma through going to like counseling or therapy, doing EFT tapping, which I talk about in some of my videos. There's numerous ways to try to get rid of trauma. Dancing is one of the easiest, fastest, most fun ways to move trauma through your body. Personally, I dance around the house a lot, but I try to specifically remind myself every morning when I'm making my coffee, because that's an area where I have a few minutes where I'm just literally standing waiting for the caffeine. And so I have a few minutes there where I'm just waiting, and it's in the beginning of my day. So I will try to get a few minutes of dancing out in the morning in the kitchen when I'm waiting for my coffee. And I think it's just such a great way to start the day, and it's a great way to remind myself to dance every day. That's usually not all the dancing I do throughout the day. I usually frolic through the living room a few times, and if I get out of the shower and I'm home alone, like I don't know what it is, but I dance around everywhere. And if you aren't in a living situation where you feel comfortable dancing in front of other people, or if you don't feel like you have room to dance, or if you don't feel authentically happy when you do it, I mean, first of all, give it a try. Give it a try. But if you end up hating it, just move your body in other ways. Go to the gym, take a walk around the block, doing really simple things like Tai Chi. You can look up beginner Tai Chi videos on YouTube, and they're really fast and simple. They're not at all hard on your body. It's mostly about like slowly moving your body, but it also has to do with energy work, and personally it really feeds my soul. So just get your body moving in some way. That is a great thing to do when you're feeling stuck. The fourth thing that you can do when you're feeling stuck is to journal. I already feel resistance from some of you. You don't want to journal. That's fine. You don't have to. I understand the journaling thing. Like, I feel like I can literally zoom out of the situation and see everyone's thoughts on it. Some people love journaling. They love writing down everything they're thinking about and what they're going through, and it's very cathartic for them. Other people don't want to write things down because they don't want other people to have access to their own thoughts and ideas and things like that. And I completely understand that. I think, though, journaling is a form of letting yourself talk to yourself and give yourself advice in a way that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do at any other time in your day. If the problem is you don't want someone to read what you're journaling about, you could sit in front of your computer, type up how you're feeling, read it, sit with it for a minute, and then delete the page. You could write it out on paper and then burn it. One of my favorite things that I have is I have some of these notebooks, and they are called wipe books. And first of all, they're vegan leather on the outside, and they feel so nice. They come with like a dry erase pen, and it's just like a whiteboard, and you write on it and then you can erase it. I love these things. I have this big one and a smaller one, and I use them all the time because when I have ideas for things, I feel like I have to write them down before I forget them, but then I don't want to have to throw paper away all the time. Like, I'm such a tree hugger. I don't want to do that. These have changed my life because I can write down anything I want, and then when I don't need it anymore, I can erase it. I use them all the time for notes, for videos. I have used them for journaling before, any kind of ideas that pop in my head. I love these things. So that's another option for journaling. Write it down on something like a whiteboard that you can then wipe it off of. I personally don't journal all that much. I go through phases with it sometimes, but usually when I journal, I'm not writing down like, this is what happened today and this is how I feel about it. Like, you can make journaling work for you. It can be anything. It can be anything that you want to make it into. I usually write down random things that pop up in my head or things that like I want to learn about. And it's so weird because I'll write little ideas and things like that down. And then there will be times in my life when I find something in the journal that I wrote and I'm like, what made me write this? Like the Knights of Templar. Why did I write down Knights of Templar? So then it'll lead me to a rabbit hole that I didn't know I needed. So it's like you can use journals to also talk to your future self and your past self. It's just such a, like, spiritually, it's such a good tool that you can use in so many different ways. But also, just sitting and connecting with your thoughts like that and kind of going over with yourself how you're feeling. Okay, let's say you sit down to journal and you just start writing about what's in your head. It's a great way to connect with what's actually on your mind. And then maybe that's something that you need to work through in order to move forward with your day or your week or with whatever idea you're working on. So I just think it's a great way of like reflecting and connecting with your own like spiritual guidance. And I feel like that is why it's such a great step to take if you're feeling stuck. The fifth thing that I encourage you to do if you're feeling stuck is to meditate. I know, meditation is, I feel like you either love it or you hate it. And I have a love-hate relationship with it. There are times in my life when I can't get enough of it. And there are times in my life when I cannot make myself sit still for even 15 seconds. That's okay. Even if you meditate for 2 minutes, just give yourself 2 minutes. Make yourself sit there for 2 minutes. Just try it. Why are you feeling stuck? What is it that's in your vortex that's making you feel stuck? There are people around you all the time trying to send you love and guidance. And sometimes it's so hard for them to get through to us because we're like always focused on something else. So when you're always focused on something else and your mind is somewhere else, it's really hard to hear the subtle intricacies of the spirit world and to see the magical guidance that the universe gives you every single day. Give yourself a minute or two to just try to calm the top of the water. Because when you calm the top of the water, then it's very apparent when something drops in. Like there's something there that wasn't there a second ago. So if you can clear your mind and calm the water, that is when inspiration is easier to access. Even if you meditate and don't get inspired by anything, even if you're not getting any messages from anybody else, grounding and centering yourself is such a wonderful act of self-love. It's not going to hurt you. It can only benefit you. Meditating is a great thing to do when you're feeling stuck. Give it a try. Just give it a try. The sixth thing that you can do when you're feeling stuck is to make yourself take a break. Let me explain. I will have weeks where I make myself a to-do list. And I want to do this, I need to get this done, I need to do this, I need to do this. I don't want to spend a day doing nothing because there's all these different things that I can do, all these different things I'm trying to build. You get caught up in that, right? So many times I'm just like spinning my wheels trying to do things that don't actually matter. If you're just trying to take action all the time and it's not inspired action, you're just going to burn yourself out. On numerous occasions, I have had days where I'm just like, you know what? I'm not doing anything today. I am making myself rest. I get comfortable, I sit myself down on the couch, or I'll read a book, I'll take a 3-hour bath. Yes, that's accurate. And I will just not let myself do anything. I'm like, oh, I should get on this platform today and look into this, or I need to work on this idea that I had last week. Nope. Don't think, don't do. And almost every time I have a day like that, by that evening, I have had some kind of a breakthrough idea or inspiration, or I have so much energy to spend on the next day of doing what actually matters. It happens almost every time that if I would have spent my energy all day just like spinning my wheels, I wouldn't have actually gotten anything worthwhile accomplished. I would have just been doing busy work the whole day that made me feel like I was doing something, but I wasn't actually getting anything done. Have you ever had days like that? Or do you know what I'm talking about? Like you're trying all these things, but nothing is actually happening with it. You calm down. Don't let yourself worry about all the things. And then you just, all of a sudden, you just get it. You just get the inspired idea that you can then follow to take inspired action, which is 10 times more valuable than spending all day doing all this. That gets you so tired that the next day, inspired what? You're just so tired and burnt out and you're like, oh, everything I try isn't working. Is that just me? Make yourself take a break sometimes. It is so valuable. I promise. I hope that one or more of these things will work for you if you're feeling stuck, if you try any of them out, or if you have any things that you usually do when you're feeling stuck to get yourself kind of like going again. I would love to hear about them. I am not only saying these things for your benefit, I'm also saying them for my benefit, to remind myself, because life is a never-ending journey. To give yourself pep talks every day. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you all next time.